Welcome back to the Nightlife Podcast, Season 3, Episode 22. 22, uno de mis números de la suerte. All right, guys. So, a lot of you have been asking that you want more women on the show. So, I've been doing some digging, I promise, and I've been trying. Actually, this person specifically, I've been trying to get her on the show for a while, but it hasn't been that easy. This is actually a good friend, somebody who's in the industry. She currently as a bartender, or we'll get into that a little later. I met her as a server waitress back in the day. We have worked together in a few places here in Miami. And since I know you just can't wait to meet her, I will just bring her in. How are you, my friend? ¿Cómo estamos?
Hi.
How are you?
Bien, bien. ¿Y tú?
Good, good, good.
Bien, bien.
Um,
Yes. Gracias por tenerme, mi amor.
No. It's a pleasure. So anyway, let's start with your name because I have been actually having some struggles with saying your name in English. I'm like, so do people call you Judith, Judith, Judith? Like, what is it? And how do you use it? How do you like it?
It's so funny. No, I prefer people just calling me Judy. I feel it just makes it simple, straight to the point. Judy. But
Okay.
it's with TH at the end. So it's Judith. That's how you pronounce it.
Okay, got it. All right. So
So yeah.
Judy from Venezuela. What part of Venezuela?
Caracas.
Caracaña. And
Mm-hmm.
so, by the way, I knew that a lot of Venezuelans were gonna watch this episode. I am certain of that. So,
Oh,
so
well.
I'm not
Yeah.
drinking alcohol right now. So I'm just having a little maltín for you people. But
No more
anyway,
alcohol for a while, please.
I know, right? Like, actually, how long has it been since you've been, not drinking? I mean, due to this, I suppose.
I, since we started quarantine, that was what, March 17, I think.
Correct. Well, it
So
depends.
yeah,
To some
it's
people, it
almost
was a
3 months.
little earlier than that. To some, remember, we are being heard all around the world, so it depends on where they are. They've
I
been
know.
quarantined a little longer. If they're in South America, they're just getting started pretty much. They think it's going crazy already, but but it's
No, but
different.
people, Julio, like people, as soon as quarantine started, they kept drinking, as
Correct.
either in their house or in a friend's house, family gutties, But I just felt like it was time for me to get a detox
Right.
because every weekend I would literally drink at least one day out of the weekend,
Right.
either Sunday or Saturday. Fun and
Correct.
everything, but my body just needed that,
Right.
detox.
So I know that everybody in Miami that is in the industry knows who you are, but we're being heard
I think so.
all over. Yeah, we're being heard, listened to and watched all over the world. So why don't you tell
Yes.
the audience what you do in the industry, when you started, how long you've been in it, and what you're doing currently.
Okay, so I started like about 6 years ago, in a very small club that used to be called the Bank as a waitress,
Downtown Miami.
and then that was in downtown Miami, yes. Um, and then from there is where I met you, a place called I went to Cucaramacara as a
Right.
waitress as well,
Correct.
and from there I went to Mansion. I have worked in Ruby, Baru, Candela, and the last spot that I'm working now is called El Patio Wynwood, which is very
Correct.
popular now because Wynwood is, the place to be now.
Right. El Patio and
Um,
everything that they're doing is has always been great. Everything that all of them do. Actually,
yeah,
you were already on the podcast, but as background material,
yeah,
you were doing
I
some
remember
drinks.
that day.
Yeah. So
No,
I
but I couldn't.
interviewed you.
I wanted to be in the interview, but my voice was really bad that day. I was sick. I remember.
So back since then, so if you guys have an idea, when I interviewed Cata from El Patio, one of the owners, that is exactly the moment that I have been talking to Judith about being on the show. From then on, and we've been waiting. So let's hope it's worth it. So right,
Entonces,
so
okay,
ever since that interview, I've been
that
meaning
was a long
to.
time ago, actually.
It was, it
That was
was,
like
it was.
no, but was it in 2019 or
I think
we're
it was. Yeah,
in
it was
2020?
last year. This year has been like
Holy moly!
so crazy. We're in
No,
June.
I don't need. Don't
No,
get me started with this year, okay?
right.
First, the forest going
Hmm.
extremely like bad, and the whole fire. Then the whole World War III. Now the Corona. Now the protests, and I just forget that I'm like, what is going on? Has people forgotten that we're supposed to like keep distance? But I
Right.
see all these people like jumping around. That was, I think it was Saturday.
Right.
I think it was Saturday that I saw like a bunch of people just running around the streets. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't.
It's going
Like,
crazy now. So all right, you are currently a
mm,
bartender.
yes, at El Patio.
What have you heard? Now that we're going through this difficult time, what have you heard from ownership and from management? Um, have they let you guys go? Are you guys on leave of absence? Or was everybody fired? What's happening over there?
Okay, so I don't know if you saw that there was an interview. Katerina, one of the older owners, she came out on TV and she spoke about how they got the loan, those loans for big businesses.
Right.
I mean, I don't remember the amount, but they're helping us. A few people applied for unemployment. Those people got a letter and they let them go to
Okay.
apply for unemployment.
Right.
And then which is like another part of us, we are getting help from them. It's not the same that we used to get, obviously, but
Right.
anything helps. At
So
this point, we're not working and we don't know when we're going to open,
right.
honestly.
And
We're
and
just
the
going with
issues, in our industry, one of the issues, especially people that do what you do, it's complicated because
entertainment
yeah,
and
no, but
bars. Yeah.
it's complicated because you guys rely on tips, and
Yes.
so it doesn't matter, like like when you try to do the whole PPP, for example, help from the banks and all that kind of stuff. It asks, how much you pay these people, but yeah, the minimum wage that you guys get as servers or bartenders or anybody in the industry, in the service industry, does not cover, by all means, not even 5% of what you guys actually do take home. So in the end, whatever it
I
is,
know.
and there's a lot of people that I understand, for whatever reasons, decide maybe not to report all of this, and if some take cash home or whatever.
Of
So
course.
when
Yes.
something like this happens, it becomes a bigger issue because now you can't even tell anybody, oh, but I used to make this much and I don't anymore. Yeah, but that's not what
Yeah,
your
because a few
taxes
other
say.
exactly, because a few of our tips, obviously half of them, or a little bit less than half, is cash. So
Right.
it's just tough because when you work in a type of environment where a lot of people just come around, and I mean, they're avoiding opening bars because at the end of the day, it's not essential. It's just something to have fun, which is obviously is essential for us, but at the moment it's not. So
That is a
it's
discussion
gonna
I
take a
have.
while.
It's a discussion I've been having a lot with myself
It's
and
a
with a lot of people. Yeah, I mean,
let's open a debate. Let's open a
no, like
debate.
honestly, I mean, like who says that it's not essential? I mean, yeah, I understand.
That's what I'm
There's some
saying.
some ways of seeing non-essential, but then why do you think so many people are anxious? And the anxiety level out there is crazy. And do you
Yeah,
not
no.
believe that that's one of the things that we do? We are underpaid, therapists in the end. You know how many conversations you have at a
Oh my
bar?
God, I love that you said that because it's so true. That's why I'm like, okay, yeah, you are in the hospitality industry, but that has to do with entertainment too. Because at the end of the day, when I'm at the bar, I I not only like I like to take care of my clients and make everybody feel at home.
Right.
I know sometimes it's a little difficult when it's super packed, but I remember their drinks, or I'll dance, or I'll make jokes, or even listen to whatever they want to talk about.
Right.
So I mean, there's like a psychological part to it, and it's sometimes
Right.
people don't understand that.
Everybody brings their problems to the bar, has a little conversation about you know about a lot of people's secrets. You get to see their real selves. A lot of people, yeah, a lot of people
Yes.
are really themselves, their real selves. Where when they're there, they feel comfortable. Not having to hide anything and being completely honest. And I feel like throughout my life, I've been doing this 27 years. I understand. Throughout my life, I've heard, seen so many things, and I have kept so many to myself. I try not to share anything that I find out about anybody, and it's one of the reasons that people want to come back. They feel, okay, I can
Because they
trust this
trust
group.
you.
Exactly, and as well as you guys. It's the way it has to be. But
I
we,
just feel, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
yeah.
I just feel that a bar or a club is just somewhere that you just want to let go and disconnect for a little bit and
Mhm.
just loosen up. Because
Correct.
that's it, loosen up. Whether it is to have a few drinks or a smoke a hookah or just listen to music
Right.
and network and vibe with people, not just be uptight and just forget, disconnect. That's what it is.
Right. Do
So
you get in the Wynwood area at El Patio, for example? Do you get a lot of people talking English? And I bring this up because You know how hard it is for me to find somebody in the industry that speaks English in the city and in the area that we work, of course. I think I mentioned this to you before.
Well, yes, I know. We spoke about this before. Um, Honestly, I do. And it's funny because they think I don't know English. So
Right.
when they're like trying to struggle and I mean, I love the fact that they try to speak Spanish because they're like practicing, but I'm like, sweetie, I speak English. Like you
Right.
could tell. He's like, oh, por favor. I'm like, no, no. I speak English, don't worry.
But
But
I'm sure a
it
lot of
just
people.
depends on the places. It
Yes,
depends.
but I'm sure a lot of people that know you are gonna be like, "What? ¿Qué es esto?"
What do you mean?
No, people that know
Oh,
you
that
but
don't
haven't
know me?
spoken to you in English because of, I mean,
Oh,
because you don't
they're
probably use it.
Venezuelan.
Yes, and here in Miami, it's I guess secondary. It's
I know
second
it's
language now,
difficult.
not
No, but
usual.
honestly, it just depends on what place you go to because
Right.
let's say, for instance, there's a place called Ragged. I don't know if
Right.
you heard.
Yeah.
He's the same owner as Foxhill, which I worked there for like a month actually.
Yeah.
And well, this place, they're mostly most of the clientele they bring, it's people that speak English.
Right.
So it just depends. I
Correct.
mean, El Patio, we get a little bit of everything, but mostly Spanish culture.
Right.
So
So let me ask you a question. Since you've been off, what have you been doing besides the two things that I know that you've been doing, which is, not drinking, detoxing, taking care of yourself,
hmm
and modeling? Because I see, by the way, guys, you got to go
yeah.
follow her. Tell them where they can follow you and go vote for you for Maxim.
Yes, I'm actually doing the competition to be in the cover for Maxim, 2020. And yes, I've been like focusing a lot on creating new content because, I mean, it's not a secret. Everybody knows that I love modeling. It's just I never really had the time. I was always working. So
Right.
now I'm like training, taking care of myself, learning. I mean, I've been watching videos, tutorials, how to put better makeup or how to edit pictures, because I like doing both, being behind the camera, in front of the camera, which people don't know that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been nice.
I like
So
it.
you can follow me. My Instagram is Judith Acuña, Acuna, Acuna 1. Judith Acuña 1.
There you go. And definitely go vote for her Maxim cover
Yes,
2020, which is almost over and
please.
we didn't even notice. Let me ask you.
Oh my God, for real.
Let me ask you a
Yes.
question. What are your plans when it comes to the industry? Are you coming back? Are you not coming back? Is this something that you can't get away from?
You know, I love how you said that. I mean, I enjoy a lot the environment. I'm not gonna lie, and you could tell I enjoy it. I feel like that's something that you honestly feel when you go to the bar. And I
Right.
get like, I understand there's a lot of people that say it's tiring. I mean, nightlife is just like sucks you in, but I see the juice in it. I
Right.
like it.
You have to.
I've
You
met
have
so
got.
many
Hey,
people.
you have to love what you do, right? And if you love what you do, it does
Yes,
not feel like work. You don't work a day in your life, and that's what I think we found in
exactly.
this industry, right? People that are in it and they're here, they're here
Like,
for
look
in
at
the
us
long run.
now.
Yeah, I
We've
know.
been friends since
Since, yeah, six
that was
years.
like what, 4 years ago?
It was more like
No,
more
5 years
5 years,
ago.
yeah.
Five, yeah.
And and we've been through good and bad times. We've been at clubs that have
Yes,
done well and some that have done awful. And
that's correct.
and I think one of the good things about this is also it. You create like a new family. Like I know for a fact that you
Yes.
have one at El Patio right now because I know that there's the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And we had one at Ruby as we tried to do at
We
Cucara.
did.
It was a little harder. Yeah, because sometimes, and that's something I wanted to talk about too. Sometimes, for some reason, in this industry, in the service department, you end up, and this happens a lot in Miami. I'm not sure if it's the same everywhere else, but I've seen it in
Okay.
so many different clubs where you have like a separation, little, it
Yeah, little groups.
yeah, groups
That's what
that
you mean?
completely separate and by either by nationality or by the way they dress or the way that they want to act or I don't know,
Yeah.
but separation like
I
that.
have my I have my own opinions with that. I just Look, I'm gonna give you an example. For instance, I feel like El Patio has such a strong team with a lot of experience, which
Okay.
honestly to me that's what makes El Patio running so smoothly.
Right.
Everything's just smooth compared to other places. I'm not saying Ruby wasn't smooth. I'm just saying once you have some type of experience or you're willing to learn, because that's the other thing. You can have experience, but if you don't want to learn how the system works in the place that you're new at,
Right.
it doesn't flow the same way. So that's why El Patio, it's a second family.
So I'm going to tell you something.
We all have experience and we're very open.
So this is an industry, as you know very well, that where looks matter. Even though, I mean, we have the girls, we have the guys. You try to keep, especially the staff, the front of house. You try to keep it, a good-looking group of people, right? And for us back in Ruby, that was one of the big things. Fede, my partner, was adamant about the fact that he wanted to have a really good-looking team. So one of the things that makes that a little harder is because you have to find people like you that has both things. You have the experience and the looks, and people, you have the clientele, you have people that like your personality, all those things, come to the table.
It's hard,
but it's complicated to have them all.
It's true.
So sometimes you have to go in other directions. El Patio is one that, even though they do have, their main thing is really having the right person for the job, somebody with the experience.
Yes.
And
exactly.
It's important.
Exactly.
And I actually would give that as a tip to everybody out there who owns a bar or manages a bar. When you're hiring, I mean, yes, looks are great and important, but try to start from the other side. Make sure that they know what they're doing, or like Judith said, that they want to learn. That's a big factor.
That's a big deal. And I noticed that when I started working at night. Okay, yeah, I have the personality, the looks, but do you want to learn? Are you a fast learner? Are you willing to, be behind somebody and just learn every single little tip? You need to be a good listener. Like, it's effort that at the end of the day, if you enjoy making people happy, you're gonna do great.
Right.
Because it's service, customer service. That's what it is.
You know what?
You can apply that anywhere.
Definitely.
Like,
Something else that I've seen is the groups, those groups that are created in the clubs. When something, different groups, just doesn't matter. Like if if for example a certain club closes, that group of people that get along usually end up going together to the same venue.
That's so true. Yeah. Well,
I've seen it both planned and not planned.
It's just if you make that good relationship with people, I feel like you're gonna work with them again. Like for instance, us, we knew each other from Cucara, and then after that we worked at Ruby, and it's just when you have that good relationship with someone, you want to keep working with them because you're more productive, you make the environment better, it's just easier.
Right.
But it doesn't always happen like that, because I worked at Mansion. Well, actually it does. You know what, you're right, because I worked the people that I worked with at Mansion, I worked like literally only 2 days at Space once.
Right.
And it was the same people. So I guess you tend to go back.
Maybe there's a little bit of, recommendation. Hey, guys, I'm going to go apply over here. They're looking for a job here. I'd love to work with you. Let's go together, that kind of thing. Or maybe when somebody is interviewed, they go, hey, you should call this girl. She was great too, whatever. Those things make that happen. But I have also, being on the ownership side too, I have also seen the fact that when I'm going to use an example, Ruby was doing great at a certain point in time. And when Ruby was doing great, we had a great looking team that let's say that 80% of the team was really good at their job, and the other 20% that wasn't still tried, but in general it was a good thing. Now, not as organized as I wish it would have been, but when
everybody wanted to learn.
Yes, so it was a good thing in that sense. But my point is, when we decided, when that was closed, the business was closed, then almost everybody started going in the same directions, same venues. But I realized that the owners from like the competition at the time decided, you know what? We want to go after this team. We want to get this whole team over here. At first, we took a lot of you to Cucara, the second Cucara, or the third Cucara actually, one across from American Airlines, which was there just for a little bit. But then after, I think almost everybody ended up at Candela and the Candela group,
Yes. Oh my God, for real. Well, I started at Baru. I
Correct.
was the first one that went into Baru, the one under Candela.
Right.
And then little by little, Saide came in and all those girls.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's just so way easier to work with someone that you worked before, because you already know their movements, how they like work around you.
Right. The
So
good,
it's
the
just
bad, and the
easier.
ugly. Definitely.
Way easier. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
But I remember that, of course,
Let,
when you guys closed.
let me ask you something. Yeah, I remember more than you guys for sure. Let me ask you something. The What is the hardest thing when it comes to keeping friendships in the industry? What do you think is a hard thing? Friendships, especially. Because I know you
Well,
have
to
made
keep them,
good
you mean?
friends. I know you've made good friendships, but I know it's
Oh, yeah,
hard.
for sure.
But I know also that it is hard to keep them, and the good ones. Like you mentioned, Saide, for example, is somebody that I adore, I respect.
I know.
She's been with us for a long time, and I wish she would have continued and kept on, but
Well, to tell you the truth, it's for me, it was just easier to be friends with someone that works inside the industry. But I do have, and I'm pretty sure you remember, I used to bring them as clientele, my other side of friends that are like not in the industry. And yes, it's tough. And yes, sometimes they even like complain to me, like, you never have time. But
what we call regular people.
honestly, like, what we call, it's so funny because we do call him like that. But
Yeah,
I think, I feel I'm normal,
I
but
mean, it's
I'm
just that
regular,
we
but okay.
think we are kind of
It's a different, completely, like it's a different world.
than
And you
anybody
know it.
else, and yeah, I know it 100%. But
You need to experiment to
there's a
understand
little
it.
bit of that the entertainment industry, as you mentioned at the beginning. I like to call it local celebrity in a way. There's a little bit of that because locally, everybody knows you. Even though we may not be in the situation that famous people may be when it comes to financial. But hey,
Hmm.
but by the way, in the industry, we don't do bad. That is one of the reasons a lot of people don't want to leave it. That's one of the reasons that's so hard.
Exactly.
It's so hard. It's so easy to make money just by doing your job and doing it right. If everybody works, well, you're gonna make money in the industry.
If you do a good team, you're
Right.
honestly, you're gonna do good. That's why I feel El Patio works perfectly fine. Most of them have at least a minimum of 1 year experience. And
Right.
I'm talking about bartenders and waitresses or
Correct.
servers, because we do have men servers.
Right.
And I feel all the owners were very smart when it came to that decision. And if you didn't have, like I said, that much of experience, if you're willing to learn,
Right.
you'll do just fine.
We had a
But we all get along, and
we had one bar in Bogota, Colombia, where we decided that every bartender was going to be a man. There was no girls at the bar. And I mean, it was not,
that every bartender. What, I'm sorry, I
all
couldn't.
the bartenders were guys, no girls at the bar.
Oh, you guys decided that for real?
Yeah, and it
How
ended
interesting.
turning around into the guys started dancing on the bar and doing shows, taking off their shirts, all that kind of thing. And it
That's
just
entertainment.
but it became something that it was packed with women that wanted to see those guys at the bar, and other men would come to the club to find those women that were looking at the guys. So it worked, in that way. Maybe
Nice.
over here it's a little more complicated. People are a little more skeptic, and they really want their girl at the bar to take care of them. I don't know.
You know what I like though? El Patio has men and women,
Hmm?
like girls and boys, and I that brings every type of clientele.
Right, correct.
And I mean like everything. So it's just not, and I mean everything. So
But
it's
it
like
is
whether you're
it
there
is
to see
Wynwood.
Judith, you're there to see Arturo or
Right.
any other guys.
It is
It's
Wynwood, so you
just
have to be open for all types of clientele, correct?
yes, yes, we got it, everything. But it's nice, like I said, you meet so many interesting people. Like you wouldn't even imagine the people that I have met during this time of like not only in El Patio,
Oh, yeah.
just
I
all
imagine.
throughout the years.
I imagine.
So
It's
it's
crazy.
just nice. I love networking. That's something that I love. I love doing. I love networking, talking to new people. Like, what do you do? So where are you from?
Right.
It's just
Hey, so
it's a cool
since
environment.
we know that looks do matter, what are your plans in the industry? Are you planning on staying long term? Do you plan on growing? Like for example, I'm telling you something. Catalina, I saw Cata come from the bottom up in the industry to being a part owner of the El Patio, and not just that, but partnering with who used to be her boss, and
Are you asking me if I want to do the Patio 2.0?
Well, I mean, you never know, but but you're one of the few that I know that likes and enjoys the industry and could probably make something of it if she decided to go in that route, But in general, I don't know what your plans are. I'm just wondering if you're somebody that wants to retire in the next 3 years from this and do something else, or you want to do it longer and grow.
To tell you the truth, during this time, like I feel like you always want to it's always good to learn more and want more. You just don't. To me, like if I stay in the industry, I want to keep moving forward.
Correct.
If your question is if I would like to be an owner, I've never really thought about it because now that I'm doing the whole modeling thing, I have other visions. Am I going to keep working at night? Probably, just because I do enjoy what I do, honestly. And people don't see maybe that it does take a lot to be a bartender. But at the end of the day, like you just have to enjoy what you're doing.
By the way,
and I enjoy it a lot.
By the way,
I wouldn't mind.
Owner/model works too. It's not like it's not something that you can't do. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little tip on that because I am actually building it's something that's called a membership.
What?
It's the first time that I'm actually talking about this on the show. But I am building a membership that it is actually to grab people from the industry and take them all the way to ownership, and it's depending on how long it takes for them, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Oh, wait, Julio. Oh my God, what happened?
You're there. I still see you. You lost me?
Are you there?
Oh, I'm here.
Hey, okay. You froze.
Yeah. No. I never lost you. You were there. So, so as I was saying, so that's the idea, is to build.
No, but I lost you. I'm sorry.
So the idea is that it grabs people from wherever they are in the industry, and it helps you build towards being an owner. I started as a promoter. Yeah. I started at 18. Right. Well, it was before. Yeah.
That's where I met you.
Right, but this was before. Like I said, I started in.
I knew you, but you don't probably remember me because we officially met in Cucaramacara.
Correct.
But I remember you.
Correct. Yeah, we've been around for a while.
Okay, so
it's gonna be a membership to build, bar and club and pub owners, and
pick your brain a little bit because I know you know a lot.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of experience there for sure, and it's good and bad. Good and bad. I think one of the best things that we can definitely teach other people is the mistakes that we've made.
Bravo. Yes, that's so true. You always want to teach everything.
100%.
Just so they don't make it again.
Yeah. And they will. It's just that now they know, I shouldn't have. See, that's what he told me. Because in the end, a lot of times we want to make our own mistakes. But if somebody tells me, hey, don't do that, but I still want to do it, I'm going to be a little more careful before I do it, right? If I still feel, because by the way, there is no right or wrong way. It's just,
I know.
There's so many different ways in this industry. You know how many crazy ideas Nicolas from El Patio has had, and people have gone, what is he talking about?
What? I know, but he's very creative.
He is.
I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And he's done it in a good way. But like you said, everybody has they have their own mistakes, and I don't know if you should try even when somebody tells you not to. But if you're...
They shouldn't.
If you're going to... Yeah.
They shouldn't, but I'm going to tell you why they try. From millennials on, nobody's being born now with the chip of tell me what to do. They don't want to be told what to do. They want to learn from you, but they don't want to be told how to do something. They want to decide themselves from an early age. They want 35-year-old presidents around the world because they don't believe in that experience. It's crazy. There's some changes there.
Wow. Well, no, actually, I'm not even surprised. I follow Gary B. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, of course.
You've heard of him.
100%.
Well, and I seen in one of his videos, like it's literally the kid was like 13 years old, and he was like, "So what do you do?" He's like, "I'm a YouTuber," and because I know what I want, and I want to inspire people, and like I just feel these kids are like growing up so fast mentally, which is awesome. not a bad. I don't think it's
No,
bad,
no,
but
not at all. You know what I do? I
sometimes.
also do mentoring. I also do mentoring for people that are,
Okay.
building any anything related to this, in this industry.
In the industry.
Yeah, and I had somebody, come to me and ask for help, and we were having conversations back and forth, and I
Hmm.
didn't really know who I was talking to, and this was one of the most mature conversations I have ever had, and somebody that seemed,
Really?
it just sounded like somebody that like really was understanding everything and doing everything, and they were super super nice about everything, and like
Sorry
thankful.
to interrupt you. This was like text messaging or through Instagram
It was
or.
through Instagram, but there was no pictures. There was like, it was more like other stuff, but there was no pictures of the person or whatever. So I didn't really know who I was
Okay,
talking
I
to
see. Another
at the
it's
beginning.
content.
At the beginning of our conversations, then it went into emails, and we were back and forth emails and all that.
Okay.
And in the end, when we finally end up having a face to face conversation, this
Uh
was
huh.
from China, actually, Hong Kong, and he is 17 years old, and
No way.
and a 17-year-old who already has three different venues. Just, I mean, yeah,
Whoa,
things are
that's
changing. So
amazing.
basically, if you want it,
But I like it.
yeah.
Honestly, I don't feel uncomfortable. I actually like it because, when you're 17, I don't even remember what I was doing. Probably playing outside, one of those games, La Ere, ¿te acuerdas? I don't the hide and go seek. I don't even know. I don't remember.
Right,
But maybe it's a good thing. The faster you learn, younger, the better.
100%. And
Because
you make those
right,
mistakes
you get
earlier.
lighter.
You get more time to get back up
Exactly.
because you are gonna fall. We all fall at some point.
Exactly.
It is life. It'll happen. I don't think there's anybody who's just always been going up and up and up and never falling down.
No, but you need to fail sometimes to
Yes.
learn and appreciate things,
Yeah,
or
it's gonna make you stronger.
not to do it again. It's just, yeah, it makes you a lot stronger like that.
Definitely.
Nobody's perfect.
So, all right. So, I want to come back to COVID, coronavirus.
What's going on right now?
I,
Yeah.
I want to, yeah, no, and I was wondering, what, what are the plans? What are the plans? Have you heard anything yet? You told me at the beginning of the conversation that you don't even know when, but do you know any of the
You're
things?
talking about when we're gonna. I'm sorry. You're
Yeah,
talking about when are we gonna reopen?
right, right. Wynwood area, anything?
Well, I don't know.
Nothing, right?
Well, no, actually, no, no, no. I've seen a few places. I actually, I think it was this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I was running some errands, and one of my good friends told me they're reopening a taqueria,
Right,
which is at Bandalo. Like they built a little, how do you call it, a wall, and they kind of separated to make it a small little taco place
right.
with a bar. So that's open. I don't know if it's open every day,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that was open. It's a really nice place.
Shota is the next interview after you.
Oh, well, he's really cool. And his other place,
Dirty Rabbit
bar.
or what?
No, no, no. Yeah, well, that they open as well.
So
This other
it's
place
mainly
seems
people that
really
have
nice.
food. I mean, we are open. I don't think I have told you, but we just opened a restaurant in downtown. It's called Pes,
Oh,
and it's
I know.
Mexican food. But the issue is, we just opened, but then now the riots, so the curfew, and
Yeah,
so
the
we decided,
curfew.
just back home again. We're gonna be opening only
So
on the
when are you
weekends.
planning? Are you just gonna wait for the
We're waiting for the riots.
protest to end?
Yeah, yeah, but
Okay.
with all the social distancing things, 6 feet apart tables, people have to wait outside for their table. They have to wear a mask
No, no, you
inside.
can't. Yeah,
There's so many
it's
things
difficult
that
like
you
that,
have to do, and
especially in this area.
yeah, yeah, you just have to. And again, we're never gonna know what happened, what's up, what's going on. People are gonna be saying, you have some people saying one thing, some people saying another, whatever it may be. The point it is that it's out there, and we have to,
It's happening. No, this is
yeah,
real. I just
exactly,
feel that people are not taking it as serious.
right,
But it pisses me off because I'm here at home, or if I go out, like I take all the precautions that I have to hand sanitizer, cover my mouth,
right.
6 feet apart. Why are other people on top of other people or getting together like in big groups? Like they're not being cautious. Like honestly, like
Right.
can everybody just think about us from the environment that we work in the
Right.
industry that we need to open as well? Like
You know what I
it's
do
so
believe? What I
careless.
do believe,
I don't want to be dramatic, but it bothers me.
100%. But I agree with you. what I do believe is that we are gonna come back different after this. Like I'm
For
actually
sure.
even like a little bit afraid when I go out there. I'm like,
How weird,
when
right?
yeah, it's the weirdest feeling.
Can you feel it in the environment and
Yes.
like in the air? It's
Yeah,
so
it's
weird. Well,
just
right now I'm in the balcony. My
it's
favorite
a
place
it's
to
a
be in my house,
it's a
but
different planet, and you feel it wherever you are.
it's
It's
feel weird.
you know, and but like with my family, I'm so much closer right now. You know, I've spent so much time with the kids, for example, with my
Yeah,
wife. You know, with the rest of the family, even if it's through Zoom. But we've been having so much more conversations than we used to. You know, so I'm glad
if
about a lot.
you're glad that what I'm
I'm not
sorry.
I'm saying I'm glad about a lot of it. You know, I'm just concerned about the financial
That's what
side.
I was gonna tell you. I know. It's just you just have to try to be as positive as you can. And if
Right.
you're, everybody deals with it differently. I feel like there's a lot of people that obviously felt really bad about it and have gone to a depression or the situation. I know it's tough,
Right.
but you could value this time and get closer to your family. I don't know, read a book,
Right.
practice yoga, whatever you wanted to do when you didn't have time before. Just do it. Clean your closet. I don't know. I'm giving ideas here,
And what do you think is going to be the
yeah,
next
just
thing? I'm hoping we don't get any hurricanes, or like most people are
oh my
saying right
God.
now. So in
I
July
think
we
so.
get extraterrestres. ET's coming home.
Uh, no. Don't even play around like that. But I do feel that there's something out there. I
Right.
mean,
Oh, I
I
believe
don't
in
know.
it.
I have
Yeah,
my
that's a
little
different podcast, but I believe in
spirit.
it. I believe in it. No, I do.
Yeah, but I don't know what's the next thing. I don't want to be negative, so I just I hope hopefully by the end of July things are gonna start changing because
Seriously. Yeah,
uh
we need
yeah,
the social side of the equation. I think one of the reasons that it's going to help our industry, you know, in coming back
people are gonna go
is
crazy
people want to see each other again.
and come out.
People want hugs. People want to, you know, it's not going to be enough to swipe right or left on an app anymore. People are going to want to be able to see other people and connect again, and they're probably realizing
Look,
this.
hmm and they're gonna appreciate it more
100%. You
because
know,
we
and I've been
at the end of
home.
the day we're affectionate. We love,
Yeah.
especially well Hispanic people.
Eh,
We're very warm and we
question.
love the whole.
Yes, question.
What?
Are you by yourself, or do you have roommates or anything, or are you by yourself at home?
No, I live with my mom. I
Okay,
live with my mom.
so at least you have your mom. But I have spoken to some people. I hadn't even thought about it, but I have spoken to some friends that are completely alone, and I just cannot imagine, because at the
Imagine
beginning they would
they don't
say
have.
like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for you guys. You have to be with your wife and your kids all day at home, or whatever." I'm like, "Whatever, dude."
No, but
And
what do you
now
mean?
and
No.
now they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm so sorry. You got to be with your PlayStation all freaking day." You know, that's all they're doing. It's it's seriously.
Honest, no, but I'm pretty sure. I mean, like, I'm pretty sure somebody has to visit them, right? Like maybe a close friend. No,
I'm
if
hoping. I'm
well,
hoping. I mean, people need it. People
so
need
they
it,
don't go
and I
crazy.
think that's what one of the reasons that it's going to help our industry. That's what one of the reasons I know we're going to, you know, come back strong. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, the way I feel about it, which I am nobody to know, but just the feeling is that it all has to do with the vaccine. The minute it comes, then things start to change. We start going out there. We are ready to go out there a little bit now, just because of the fact that you have more, you know, available to take care of people at the moment, because it's not overcrowded anymore, the hospitals or whatever.
Yeah, of
But
course,
you don't want those riots going on at the same time, because it just could get worse. You know, we numbers are going to go up again, most likely. But anyway,
for sure.
I'm hoping, you know, this whole thing slows down. I know it's not a hoax for sure, even though a lot of people think it is. Um,
I, I think we're gonna have to. Well, I haven't seen so many people outside as compared to Saturday,
right?
but I'm hoping it's just people start because it's getting violent. Honestly, like one
Yes.
thing is to protest, and another thing is to go buy. Sorry, I'm getting stuck. Because I seen videos how they're like destroying stores. Like
Right.
that's not right. That's you're not giving the right image. You're not projecting your the fact that you're projecting about violence is not. It's already bad. Like that's not the right message.
Right.
So
Right.
I mean,
And
let's
and
just hope it stops because
and we will never understand what the hurt, the feel, you know, what they're really feeling, because we haven't lived it. But definitely, I believe there's a lot of, I think they just need leadership right now. That's what it is, and it's what the whole country needs. And I'm just talking about the
and I
country,
know
but this is a world issue now.
No, I know, but I seen a lot of images on Instagram, like comparing it to Martin Luther King
Hmm.
during those times. He was obviously projecting the same thing, equality, like this
Right.
is so bad, no racism. He never got violent with nobody,
Right. Yeah. My dad
and
lived
that's what
here.
I'm
My,
saying.
my
Like
dad
you don't
lived
need
here.
to be violent.
My dad lived here
Oh,
in
really?
'69
During those times?
in Louisiana. Yeah, and
Wow.
yeah, and he was actually talking to me about it and about how much he's feeling like things are going in the direction of what happened after he was killed.
But you know what? You know what's the problem? When you don't learn about history, it repeats itself,
A hundred
and
percent.
that's a fact.
100%.
That's a fact. So if you don't even, it doesn't matter where you're from.
By the way,
If
I
you don't
feel
have a
like
good
I'm
background,
I feel like I'm at El Patio at the bar having a drink, and we are having a client to
do you see?
bartender conversation.
And this is kind of what I do on my job,
Right,
honestly.
right, right. I just wanted people to know that I know a lot of that are listening are bartenders and already know this, or managers, or
Hmm.
are in the industry. But for those people that are not, um,
By
these
the
guys
way,
do
for
a
those that
hard
don't
job.
know me, I love talking or listening to as well.
Now they know. So yeah. So,
Yeah, no, I'm very open when it comes to any topic. If I don't like, but yeah, the whole point is that this is kind of how it goes down in a bar.
correct.
But
Where do you draw the line when it comes to the conversations, or when a client gets too frisky? What
out of
are the
line,
where do you draw a line?
when they get out of line, that's what I meant.
Got it. Got it. Got it.
Um, honestly, I don't know if it's the way that I interact with people, but I barely get that, to tell you the truth.
Right.
I don't get rude people. And if I do, I know for a fact that's not because of me, it's because of them. And
Okay.
it doesn't go because of a conversation. It's more like when I'm super busy, and honestly, it gets to a point sometimes that I cannot get to you right there and then.
Right.
I do try to be like, I'm sorry, give me a few minutes. I'm taking care of somebody. But
Right.
there's just people that are they're on patience. So they just wanted the drink now.
Right.
That's when I
So
get rude
so a
people, honestly.
tip for new bartenders out there would be the fact that you attract what you are, what you're giving, what you're showing, right? In a way. So
For sure.
if you're gonna be
Yes.
flirtatious, they're gonna come back flirting at you too. I mean, and I understand there has to be a little bit of it. There has
There has to be what, I'm sorry.
no. I'm saying there's a little bit of that flirting in the industry. There's a little bit of the smile. It's just, or is it that people take it the wrong way? How do you see it?
It's the environment that makes people think that flirting and, getting really, really
Yeah.
lovey-dovey, it's
Right.
okay. It's not okay. Like,
Right.
I'm still human. I'm there doing my job, honestly. Do I like making people feel good about them, like around me? Yes.
Right.
That makes me happy. It makes me happy to see you smile. Trust me. It does fill my heart. And I think that's a tip, because you asked me to give somebody, a new bartender a tip. That's my tip.
Right.
If you are there to do your job, make sure that you're giving great service and that the person is smiling, is having a good time. Because if not, you're not doing your job, unless the person has a bad day, which it happens.
Right. It happens.
But don't take it personal. It's
Correct. Everybody
has their day.
have you ever been told by a boss, go smile at that client, go be nicer? You know.
Never,
Okay.
never,
So that's a good thing.
jamás.
So you had good
Yeah,
bosses
no.
then. It's a good
But
thing.
actually, in the
It's like,
beginning,
no, now that you say it.
well, I thought you were talking about El Patio. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Okay, let me look back in history.
Now, in the beginning, when I was starting at the bar in Ruby, there was somebody that would always go around and go like this. He would never tell me to smile. He would just smile,
Smile.
to remind me to smile.
Yeah, that
I
works.
think you know him.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, during the stressful part,
Correct.
you tend to forget.
Oh, 100%.
But
And I think we have got to wear a smile all the time in this industry. You have no idea how many times I've been at a club and I don't want to be there at that moment in time. Oh, and believe me,
Like I said,
I'm in a
everybody has
position
their
where
day.
I'm doing, PR with everybody at all times. It's so complicated to keep a smile. I used to smile.
You're very smiley.
No, I have to, and I have to. It's like part of my personality and my
It's your essence.
and in the business, too.
You're very like that.
Right now, when I'm behind the door, closed door, and it's work time and meetings, I'm the one that everybody hates to sit down and talk business. Honestly, it is.
I mean,
I'm not talking about the staff, but when it comes to like with the partners or anything like that, anything when it's negotiations or anything like that, you got to be a little bit of a shark, I guess. So,
I mean, for people to take you serious, you have to obviously have a serious face on. If not,
correct.
Then
Correct. But the minute we cross that door where the clients are, it just,
I know.
We have to.
I know. I remember.
So,
I remember.
I am so thankful for your time. We were supposed to be talking for 30 minutes and it's been 45 minutes already. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, exactly. See, you talk a lot. You talk a lot. So this is definite proof about what bartenders do at a bar. It's just a complete conversation about wherever the conversation goes. And that's what I wanted to have with you because during these times, people need to, de-stress a little bit. I wanted you to give a few tips to those out there. But mainly, I want to make sure that we send a message out there, letting people know that this industry is not dying. It may evolve a little bit or for a little time, but we are not going anywhere. People need this, and it's going to continue. And yes,
I agree with you.
Over the years, it's changed in many ways. And maybe we are going in a direction where the heavy nightclub with all the dark lights and all that kind of stuff is not what people want. And maybe that comes back in 50 years, but
Things are going to change for the better. That's for a fact.
Correct.
To me, we're just going to see this as we're like you said, we're going to come back stronger. We're going to make a few changes, of course, adjust to the system because at the end of the day, we want everybody to feel comfortable that, that nothing's going to happen. I'm talking about the whole COVID thing. But yeah, no, definitely we're not dying. It's just a little pause.
There you go. Hey guys, so thank you for watching. And again, why don't you tell them where they can follow you and go vote for you?
Of course. Okay, so you guys could come into my Instagram. My Instagram is Judith Acuña 1.
If you're in Miami, you have to go to El Patio, no? El Patio at Wynwood.
For sure, yeah.
And come see her at the bar. Remember to vote. Go vote for her.
Please vote.
And you remember.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you so much. And guys, you can follow me at the Nightlife Entrepreneur on Instagram, nightlifepodcast.com, where you find all the episodes. You find the book, The Nightlife Entrepreneur, on Amazon, and all the courses, membership, everything that is coming at nightlife.university. And see you guys next week.